Now these machines are made for us by a Canadian company in Calgary, Alberta called Foremost. Foremost is very well known all around the world, and that's because they make a lot of different types of big industrial machinery for the mining industry, the oil industry, even for the military. Now in the last 25 years they've made 23 of these Ice Explorers, and over those years, well, we bought all of them except one. The Americans, they got the newest one a couple of years ago, and it's in the Antarctic. Now the new machines, and this is one of our newest ones, they've got the hydraulic lift in the back. That enables me to carry 4 wheelchair passengers as well, and these machines sell for $1.2 million each. So yeah, specialty items don't come cheap, that's for sure. Okay, so that was the lateral moraine we just descended, the big hill there. This part of the glacier that we're on right now, this is called the ice core moraine. Moraine is a word that basically means debris. If you look across the valley there, or even on the left here when you look up the valley, you can see that a lot of rock and dirt and rubble comes down off the mountain. This is going to cover the very edge, the side of the glacier, and of course when the ice is covered, it's being protected from the wind, the rain, and the sun. That means the melting is going to slow right down. In the center there of the glacier, it's bare, it's exposed, so of course it's going to melt a lot faster. Now eventually this ice core moraine that we're on right here, it will become the new lateral moraine. It'll look just like the one you saw with Bruce coming up the hill there. That might take another 40 or 50 years or so, but as it melts, it'll kind of fold in on itself, and it's going to leave a ridge at the top, and you can see that's already beginning to happen on the left-hand side. And then the process will begin all over again on the inside of the glacier as it gets smaller and smaller. Now we don't want to take all this mud and dirt with us onto the glacier, otherwise the ice road that you see ahead of us here, it would deteriorate very, very quickly. So by holding back a little bit of the meltwater, like you can see here, we're actually helping to minimize our impact on the ice. Now the tires, we get so many questions about these tires, comments about them. These are called Terra tires. There's 2 companies that make them. Goodyear and Michelin both manufacture them. Now the tires, they cost $5,000 each. They're 5 feet high, they're 3 feet wide, and they weigh about 350 pounds. That's just the rubber, not the lid, just the tire alone. You'll see these tires on a lot of farm machinery as well in Canada and the United States. Okay, as you all know, this is the Athabasca Glacier, but what you may not know now is that the Athabasca Glacier here is the second largest out of all the 36 glaciers that come, well, I like to say oozing out of the Columbia Icefield, and I'll explain that in just a little while. Now the Icefield, that's located in the 11 o'clock position way up there. That's what we call the head wall. You'll get a really good view of that once we all get out of the coach. We'll be a lot closer as well. Now at the top of the head wall, on the right hand side there, you can see it looks like a big shadow, like a big snowdrift coming in towards the center of the head wall. Well, that there is the edge of the ice field itself. Now, unfortunately, that's all we get to see of the ice field because it's about 10,000 feet. That's 3,000 meters above sea levels. Where we are right now, this is 7,000 feet or 2,100 meters, so we're looking up at an angle. All we can see is just the edge of the rim of the ice field. Now, if you were to take an airplane ride up there, especially on a really nice clear day, I think the first thing that would catch your attention would be the size of the ice field. It covers about 110 square miles. That's 350 square kilometers in area. That means the city of Vancouver would fit up there very easily with room to spare. Or if you've ever been to New York, they say that Central Park will fit on top of the ice field 91 times. Now the ice field, if you saw it from way up above like that, well, myself, for lack of a better description, I just like to tell people it resembles a great big basket. And that's because it's surrounded now by some of the very, very tallest peaks in the Canadian Rockies. Those mountains are kind of surrounding it, hemming it in, and what happens next is when the Pacific westerlies come through here, that's our prevailing winds, usually they're carrying a lot of moisture with them, as you can see today. Well, those systems, they come through here, they hit those high mountains, that forces them to rise, and because of the elevation, well, they're going to drop all the moisture that they're carrying, and most of that moisture is going to fall right into that basket that I described a minute ago.